What's that smell?
That's what a lot of people would have you thinking from the reviews. Todd got a lot of hate for the first movie, being compared eerily so to Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, which I never personally understood. But regardless of what side of the argument you land on there, those movies never had a sequel. Does this movie rely on inspiration from elsewhere? Or can they be bold in their own creativity and inspire new people? Well, it's a little bit of both. It most certainly doesn't shy away from being the musical that it loudly proclaimed to be. And unfortunately, much like I thought it would, and I'm sure a lot of other people, that aspect of the movie really did throw me off. I didn't hate it. It was all just a little bit off and weird. The first 15 minutes I was hooked and ready. It was all I expected it to be, and more, thanks to a cool integration of an adult-like Looney Tunes animation, me and my shadow. And what was to follow that, very reminiscent of what I loved from the first movie. I just don't think it struck that balance with its really dark and gritty tone suddenly into bright, colourful soul/jazz music numbers. I don't think anybody can argue though, although you may not be a fan of the actual scenes themselves, they are beautifully shot. And hey, hands up, I complain at big movies all the time because they're just rehashes of everything that has come before. So I do really appreciate the fact that they've tried to do something different here, which is probably a big reason as to why Joaquin Phoenix agreed to come back here. And he is, without any surprise at all, absolutely stellar yet again. I think he lost even more weight for this one, as I was really taken back when we see him first stand up in this prison cell and his scapula is like popping from behind his trap. I do really believe that without him, this movie just would not work on any level. Because when the movie did start losing me ever so slowly, randomly breaking into these musical numbers and a whole lot of them, Joaquin Phoenix would just reel me back in like a fish on the line with his incredible performance. Lady Gaga does a solid job, and you can definitely see why they went with her, to go with the singing, and she of course does so brilliantly. I enjoyed their chemistry throughout the film, and believed them to be bonding over their true insanity. It's at least implying in a couple of parts where she actually may be manipulating Arthur, with her of course studying psychiatry at one point, but it kind of just leaves that to the wayside, and frankly, there's just too many songs here. If they just did, I don't know, maybe five songs here, I think this movie would have been much higher on the list for this year. I think there's like 10, even up to 20 songs in here, and it's just too much. You go from a really dark, gritty tone of a movie, serious moment, and then he's just da 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 da. Certainly in moments, I was rooting for a trilogy here. I was really enjoying parts of this film, and sitting there thinking, I could do with a third one of this. But really, by the end of the movie, looking back, it just, unfortunately, was not as good as it really should have been. Amazing performances and incredibly beautiful to look at. It takes a big swing at something different, but it wasn't the home run we were hoping for. Joker Folie gets a 6 out of 10. What are your thoughts on Joker Folie Deux? And where did it go wrong, or even right, for you? Let me know in the comments below. Continue down the rabbit hole with these other videos, and enjoy whatever it is that you are watching next.